my voice, so Well, we're here. It's day one. We toured around the city just for a couple minutes here before we came to the Nissan Crossing. Since it just opened, we got to see the Formula E car that they have out on the front turntable, along with a really cool concept car on the inside. Now we're upstairs and we're checking out the Nissan Leaf, the Nismo Nissan Leaf, but also this cool modified Leaf electric race car. And we're gonna go check out the fish market and pretty much just see some cool hotspots, great food and people and different locations that we've got. We've got some great car events planned on Sunday and Monday too, I believe. And we're gonna try to get into it as much and as many things as we can. Maybe even check out the robot show. So let's go check out some cars. Nissan Crossing was super cool. Now we're gonna head over to, where are we going? The fish?
Yeah, the original fish market.
Fish market.
They switched it over a couple years ago, but all the street vendors and stuff are there, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
What are your thoughts?
Chewy, kind of teriyaki. Pretty good though.
Gonna go check out the Tokyo Tower and grab a beer or something. Check it out.
If you guys are looking for professional quality car cleaning supplies, check out the new Hybrid Solutions line by Turtle Wax. This new line by Turtle Wax has cutting-edge technology featuring ceramic properties in all of their products. The ceramic spray coating, the ceramic wet wax, the ceramic wash and wax, the ceramic polish and wax, and the 3-in-1 detailer. All of us at InMotion here use these products on our vehicles. Any vehicles that we need done quickly and professionally, these products work amazing. Each of these products delivers a high gloss shine and a super durable protection. If you're looking for more information on the Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions line, jump over to the website, turtlewax.com, search for Hybrid Solutions. They have all the info you need on there. It'll show you all the amazing technology that's crammed into these products. I'd highly recommend picking up some for yourself to keep in your garage.
Alright, so we finished up our first night, finally got some sleep, heading down to meet John for some coffee and see what we're going to get ourselves into today.
We've made it to Tokyo Auto Salon. There is about 1.5 million people here, and it's shoulder to shoulder and worse than SEMA by far. But we'll try to get a decent amount of footage. It's gonna have people in it. It's gonna be crazy, but it's about the best we can do.
I hope we can actually find people because we lose them every 5 minutes, and this is our first building.
Yeah.
Could get interesting.
guys? It's Dave P here from InMotion. I'm right here with Richard Seidlitz from Red Pants, LOL. And he has a lot to do with this Aston Martin. John Perdue from Modesta came out here with Brandon Hughes a couple weeks ago, in part with you, right?
I helped organize that. I introduced John to Luana, who's right over off camera right over here. She's the one that works for ACR, which is the company that owns this car.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about what happened. I think you guys, you do a lot of stuff with Aston Martins, right?
Yeah. So Red Pants is a company I started 4 years ago, which basically I had a midlife crisis, bought myself an Aston Martin, and I've always been a hands-on guy. I've had Subarus and Mazdas and stuff like that. So I came from that sort of world where if I needed to change my oil or modify anything, I do it myself.
Yeah.
When I got into Aston's, there was none of it. So I started figuring it out and put together a little company called Red Pants because it just fell together, and here I am.
And that's redpants.lol, right?
That's the website.
So if you can't remember that, you're an idiot, because it's like the best domain name ever.
Well, then the only problem is everybody thinks I have a laundry service.
That's fair.
So this car in particular, it was white last time I saw it. I saw this car a year ago racing at Fuji Speedway. It was white. They decided they were going to use this as a second car for demonstrations and to show off their products. So all the carbon fiber on this came from ACR. It's made here in Japan. And I wanted to mention that because I know Akane-san, the owner of the company, is really proud of that fact.
Yeah.
But it is an actual GT4 race car from Aston Martin Racing that's been converted into their body kit and everything, so it's a lot wider. Off the top of my head, I want to say it's 40 millimeters wider on each side in the front and 50 millimeters wider in the rear on each side. It's a lot wider, and there's a lot more aero to it as well.
That's awesome. So is this car, the full body of this car is carbon?
Everything up until here. So here they've actually grafted it in.
Okay.
They do have, if you ever saw the car out it's in the Middle East somewhere, and I feel bad for not remembering, but there's a guy that has one of these. It looks very similar, but it's got crushed carbon on it.
Okay.
He actually worked with ACR to make that crushed carbon body kit based on this body kit, and he uses it as a drift car out in the Middle East.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
As a drift car.
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't think I've ever seen an Aston Martin drift car myself, but that's pretty damn cool. So I know that John got hooked up with you and Luana to do some work on this car, and he was out here a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Obviously, showcasing the new Enso product line, but really what they came out to do was do a full paint correction, polish, and prepare this car to put on SunTech. So it has a full SunTech wrap. I got some clips of this on how good it looks, because these guys are awesome at their install. You literally don't see seams, you don't see edges, and you never will. And then, of course, they topped it off with one of the premium Modesta coatings. It's probably one of the better cars overall that I've seen here. A lot of the cars are polished or prepared the way that we see in the US is the same. So this car actually looks amazing, and it's, really cool. Let's take a look at the inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So obviously there's a lot more done to this car than we've talked about, and a lot more stuff that I don't know about it. So what can you tell me more about the rest of this vehicle?
So because it started out as a GT4 race car, Aston Martin's race cars are very similar to the road cars. The engines, for example, the only real difference are like the bearings on the race engines are a bit more improved to handle those kind of stresses, but there's a lot of the underpinnings that carry over from road car to race car. The stuff that you see that's all stripped out, that's because it's a race car, you have simplified electronics, so you don't have all the amenities, but a lot of it carries over. When this was a race car, it was on a standard spring and coil setup, strut and coil setup, but now it's on air suspension because they use it as a demonstrator for the various things they sell. So it does have air suspension, it does have the air jacks, which I swear to God are the best things ever.
And the coolest things to
I wish I
watch.
had that on my car at home.
Yep.
But you can see there's a whole lot of carbon fiber on the outside. The inside, they're sponsored by IDI, which is a brake pad company, so you'll see those on the brakes if you get inside of there. Some of the changes they've made for this particular car as a new design are these door mirrors and the front canards. So the door mirrors are obviously styled like a current race car, and then the front canards are a lot more aggressive. The previous ones were the sort of simple half moon looking ones you've seen for the last 20, 30 years. These ones are the big, aggressive kind you're starting to see come out more and more. I think they started with like DTM style, where they sort of, molds around the car quite a bit more. Aside from that, Advan tires, they have used these for racing. These are the actual racing wheels from Aston Martin Racing, made by OZ.
But this car had a different set of wheels on it, right?
It did. It had Vossen, so Vossen's a company that they work with as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Other differences include from the road car are the Lexan windows, so you'll notice these are plastic. Same thing with the rear, that's why you can see the holes in the rear window. Also, it's made out of plastic. But aside from that, there's a lot of stuff that carries over. It's one of the things I love about Aston Martins is I can beat on it all day long and I know it's made to survive it.
Yeah, for sure. And as much as I love race cars, I love aesthetics too. This has got plenty of it. One of the coolest things I think is the rear diffuser on it. And it sits so low.
It's adjustable though, so you can actually move it back and forward, up and down, depending on how aggressive you want to be. If you're just going for crazy style or if you're actually trying to tune the aero, you can do that.
That's really cool. Well, I appreciate you doing this, man. Telling me all about it.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Richard just told us all about this car. I caught John right away while he was still here to tell us about what he did to this car just a few weeks ago. I thought he was absolutely nuts flying out to Japan 3 weeks before we came here. But him and Brandon Hughes, another Modesta installer, came out to fully prepare this car and do a SunTech wrap, clear paint protection film, along with coating it with Modesta. So tell us what you did and how many hours and everything about it.
So it's actually the shortest schedule I've ever dealt with a project like this. So I started talking with Mr. Akana, who owns ACR, and Luana back in October. And pretty much at SEMA is when everything kind of started clicking together. We talked to SunTech and we're like, hey, let's, you guys interested in doing this project with us out in Japan? SunTech doesn't exist here.
Yeah.
So, they jumped on board immediately and literally they had to spend how much ever to get film here through customs duties. And we started this project, I think it was on the 20th, we left the 20th of December, got here on the 21st, did the work on the 22nd, 23rd, flew home on the 24th.
So you were able to
fully wrap every single thing. So I mean, like all the jet black, all the carbon fiber. Originally, we were only going to do the carbon fiber.
That's awesome.
So I decided to bring Brandon because I've known Brandon for a long time now, and he's an incredible PPF and paint correction, just versatile at everything.
He seems like it, man. I've been meaning to talk to him just because he seems like probably one of the most talented younger guys in our industry.
Yep, and he's the future of this industry, in my opinion. Like you don't meet that many guys that are the low 20s who are that humble, that knowledgeable, but also their craft is just so far advanced from them. Like I have no fear of saying it. I'm teetering on my 40s. And I got a kid at the 20 that, it is what it is. He's better than me at everything.
Yeah.
But, I was sitting down trying to figure out, hey, who can I bring? Originally, I was going to bring Connor because we were going to do a lot more paint correction.
Yeah.
And then it turned into this whole paint protection with coating. And I was like, I need somebody that knows what they're doing, but they're also fast and effective. I called Brandon and timing worked out perfectly. Like, let's go.
Well, the car looks absolutely awesome.
And it had its challenges. It's a race car. So it's not perfect. It's a little rough around some edges. But we had the car knocked out in less than 48 hours. And we had a strict working time of 9 till about 6 p.m. every day.
So did you then, obviously you're showcasing the Enso products in front of it, and it's coated with Modesta. There's some literature about Modesta out here.
Yep.
Did you use all the new Enso products on this car too?
So most of the ones that we can use right now are all here, except for like the car wash soap. Yeah, so we have like our interior, quick detailer, tire shine. They brought the clay lube to demonstrate it, but hopefully they didn't clay it.
That's right. And this is a product line coming from Japan, right?
So it is all formulated, built, and manufactured here. Modesta is all manufactured here.
Yeah.
And so is all manufactured in Europe with our other partner out in Europe. So It's still controlled by us. There's no outside bottling. Everything is purely done by us. So you know this industry very well. A lot of things are white labeled. Everything, and it comes with the cost, but it's just 100% done by us.
Well, it's a product line I've been actually looking forward to using. And
well, I'll send you some.
Anxious to
we'll
see
send you some when we get back to there.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, you guys did amazing work. I appreciate you inviting us out here.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
John, pretty much.
These.
I will always stop. Thank you so much.
Thank you. These are cool. So this is a pin of the car. So that was Mr. Akana, who owns the vehicle. They have these little pins that they had made of the actual car. These things are awesome.
That was actually awesome.
Yeah.
I've never been interrupted by such an awesome experience. But, So you guys did an awesome job. John's one of the reasons why we came here in the first place. And I was just talking with David from InMotion also about how cool this trip's been, and it's only been about 48 hours because
And this is just the start of it too. Like you see the difference, like SEMA, and like anybody who's watching this that's back home in the States might get offended by this, but I'm like, SEMA's become the epitome to what I hate about all of our businesses. It's a laughing stock. Here you get to experience something cool that's, you know, for you it's culture shock in some degree.
Yeah.
But like you look at the car culture of this whole show, it is a culture. Like SEMA's just like, there's no culture behind it, there's no diversity, it's just an ego and just trash, right?
Yeah.
This to me is like complete, like look behind the booth there, man. It's like in 2 minutes it's just packed here, but it's so different here. The feel, the atmosphere, the professionalism.
well, I've dreamed about coming here since I was younger.
Every day, this is what we all bred for. You know,
Yeah.
loving Hondas, me loving Nissans growing up. Like Tokyo Auto Salon was always at SEMA. We experienced it. We're like, hey, we want to go, and I've done SEMA more than a handful of times. But even after the second time at SEMA, I'm like, all right, cool, we've done it. Tokyo Auto Salon. This is my third time here. I've never gotten sick of it.
Well, and me and David, we've been talking about it that we do the Concours cars,
Yep.
we do the exotics, the supercars, the hypercars, just that whole thing, the
Yep.
stance cars or whatever. But like, this is where it started for me. You know,
yeah.
my first car was a CRX. I'm sure yours was a Nissan
Well,
or
but you know
something.
what's cool about here? Like you come here, man, and like we have an S13. No, this is a 14 right here, I think. Is that a 14?
14.
Yeah. You go to SEMA, you don't see S14s anymore.
No.
Like they're outdated, they're gone. You come here and you still have the old classic Japanese, like the 90s, living in the 90s cars here for us. You know?
Well, and it's awesome to see companies like Gretty, HKS,
Top Secret.
like Top
Yeah.
Secret. Top Secret was the one that David and I were talking about. It was
Speaking of
like-
that, we need to go back and spend more money there.
We do, yeah. But like, these were iconic companies, cars, builds, and people that I read about in Import Tuner, Super
Yep.
Street, Sport Compact Car,
Yep.
Honda Tuning. Like, this is what built me and us. And time's just gone so fast that 20 years later, it's just amazing to attend an event like this and see these brands
Well, and
still
that's the thing,
represented doing
like
this
SEMA, you
awesome
come here, it's
stuff.
like all like. Don't get me wrong, there's like 50 new Supras here,
Yeah.
and SEMA this year was the same way, and just kind of like cars we didn't care about. But I mean, like, there's cars from the 70s here that are still showcased as like the Triumph, like the GTRs, you know, from like 1972 and up are still here.
Yeah.
You would never see, you don't see that many cool cars in the States like that. Yeah, you see the classic American cars, but it's not the same vibe. It's different. So
It's a totally different vibe. So
Yep.
we're going to make sure we catch up with John later when we get out of here because it's loud. And just talk more Tokyo Auto Salon, talk more Japan, and talk more cars.
cool. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.